Record. Welcome, Reckless Wanderer. This is Robert for the Day 2 update of the Zerkling that yesterday was a Bladestorm Berserker, which now is a Cyclone Berserker at level 78. And while I'm going over the changes, I'm going to run the highest map that I currently have, which is a Peninsula, tier 5. I was just in the process of completing all tier 3s. I think I'm still missing one. Yeah, I'm still missing Wharf. And then I can start completing tier 4s. Oh, actually, there's this Arna on Ashenwood as well. Nice, that would probably give it to me. But I'm going to run the Peninsula just to see that you can see what the damage and the survivability is in this sort of map, which is the highest I can run at the moment. So I did have to switch to Cyclone. And I had to pretty much change my entire setup because with Sandstorm, things in maps, at least with my gear, just was way too sketchy. And Cyclone and the new combination of curses and buffs that I'm using just means that I can tank things a lot longer if those lightning dunes don't explode me. Who's making them? This guy. Okay, I think we're good now. No, he's still alive. How is he still alive? No, there was another dude. Anyway, yeah. So I finally got 30% move speed boots. I'm running a Quicksilver of Adrenaline, which is not qualityed yet, so my Cyclone speed is not very long. And occasionally I just forget to pop my Quicksilver, so I'm staying slow. Never having really played Cyclone, it is a thing that I need to get used to, but then again the skill got changed significantly anyway. Did I actually really fail this? No, I just don't know which direction to go. Oh yeah, right. Also that Cyclone has put a lot more strain on my mana, so running with Assassin's Mark just was not an option anymore. So I actually had to switch up the curse setup, and I'm now running old school with Warlord's Mark, both in Leap Slam and also as castment damage taken. And I still have my War Cry that I need for my occasional mana sustain, which makes this an overall way less interesting character than it was before. Before it was kind of, I wouldn't say unique, but it was a very different playstyle that I haven't experienced in PoE before, where I could just pop the Bladestorm and run around. But if you encounter obelisks with multiple projectiles and extra damage and whatnot, then not leeching is simply not an option, because you will just die. And this is why I had to make those changes and do exactly that what I yesterday predicted, and that is playing a skill that is tried and tested. I'm still trying to do things a little bit, try to use new stuff. So since I'm still using the same chess piece and I managed to recolor it to a sort of working stage, I'm running now with Cyclone, Impale, Close Combat, Malefice and Infused Channeling, which is a nice combination of defenses and offenses. And I also linked my Double Strike now. The Val Double Strike also now has Impale, Increased Duration and Maim. And then the Leap Slam setup has changed now to use Warlord's Mark, and I finally managed to fit Fortify in. Because of all that, I needed to get rid of Herald of Purity, and I'm now using, where is it, Flesh and Stone, because Flesh and Stone allows me, if I switch between those two forms, so in the sand form enemies are blinded, and in the blood form enemies are automatically maimed and take more damage while they're in this vicinity. So blood and sand didn't make sense to me to use anymore, because I wasn't actually using a main skill that could utilize this, and the buff from Flesh and Stone is just overall better for survivability and also for boss damage, that I decided to go for that. Unfortunately, Flesh and Stone has 25% mana reservation, which means Blood and Sand has 10, so that meant I had to give up one of my other buffs, and I chose to get rid of Herald of Purity because Pride is just way too valuable in terms of damage until I have a better weapon at least. Weapon is still the same. I did upgrade the ring and the amulet, got a little bit flat fist there, and the boots finally have 30% move speed. I have no life, so that's a bit crappy. Gloves are still the same, belt is still the same, and the flask setup is almost unchanged. I have a... Actually, right now, do I have a freeze removal? Yeah, I do. But no instant pot. It's kind of messy. So let's run this Alva, see if we can actually clear this guardhouse. I guess we want guardhouse. It doesn't matter if we open a door. Sometimes my leaf slam doesn't go through. Oh my god. Yeah, and I have minus 60 chaos resistance, so that's definitely a bad thing. So I guess the loss of life there was just due to the Chaos Spitter action. And as you can see, my damage is really starting to fall off because my weapon starts to lag. You can switch to Bloodstorm, deal a little bit more damage to those rares. I think we still have a few people left alive, these guys. Switch back to sand, we don't need to open a door. So that was a pretty pretty gnarly incursion there. But I still live, still have 0 deaths. See if this is still the same after I finish this map. Maybe not. I think I have less area of effect in this map. Ah no, curse effect is reduced and monsters gain power charges, which was also why I got destroyed so badly. Really? Other than that, Cyclone, very enjoyable, I have to say. I very often forget to Leaf Slam, which means I don't have Warlord's Mark up, which then means I'm running out of mana. So this is something that I still need to get used to, and also pressing the Quicksilver Flask every now and again. It was way too early activated. That boss killing still works pretty well. I did make another change. I'm now using Berserk over the Ancestral Protector, because Berserk, in addition to giving me the same amount of attack speed that was the Ancestral Protector giving me, it also gives me damage, it gives me movement speed, and most importantly, it gives me less damage taken. So this is an offensive and defensive buff, which works really well in tricky situations like the one that we're getting into next when we pop the obelisk that's just right around the corner. So yeah, pressing buttons with this changed build hasn't improved at all. I'm still suffering from having not enough keybinds and having way too many buttons to press, which I'm just not used to. So let's see how we can do here. Is there like a chest or anything? Okay, Berserk. Switch to stance, jump in, get some mana. Oh. Wallet Incubator. Thank you. Was there in Bloodstance? Yeah. And I was out of mana again. Do these things go away? Yeah. Yeah, running out of mana is really problematic, because if I'm out of mana, I can also not cast Rallying Cry to get mana back. So this is a problem. And this is still with Revelry. So I don't think I can ever spec out of this. But then again, I guess the only thing I actually really need is a Warlord's Mark on Hitring. Once I get this, I should be able to ditch the castment damage taking Warlord's Mark setup, and I can also ditch the Curse on Hit setup on Leap Slam, clear up some gem slots. What I really want to fit into the build, but I actually don't really know how, is a War Banner, so that I can have Adrenaline for some extra damage in tight situations or for boss fights. But I don't have any keybinds for it. I would have to give up a Warcry, which I won't do, because my final ascendancy point is gonna be Mobbringer instead of Rite of Ruin, because I do want the life recovery. What that allows me is to get rid of the life flask, because 25% life recovered is pretty much the same as having a seething divine life flask, probably, hopefully. And yeah, that should be a nice compromise between survivability and damage. But what is this? You will defeat Fidelitas while holding Stormcloud. I don't need that at all. But for that I have to get a better weapon first, and I also have to find 4 more lab trials. Let's see how long that takes. But so far, this was me clearing with still pretty shitty gear at tier 5 map at level 78. Nothing too special, but I still live. I can still kill things. It's a ton of fun. And let's see what the day tomorrow brings. So thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.